growing, your brand in your respective market. And for those who don't know me yet, my name is Jun Ray, your favorite franchise development for Realty Wonder Philippines. So my role is to connect with visionary real estate broker owners who are looking for the next level growth of their brokerage. And today, we're about to hear from someone who's not just keeping up with the future of real estate marketing, but also helping, shaping it. So our guest speaker for today is, a true marketing visionary and an AI expert who has helped businesses and entrepreneurs leverage, the power of technology and scale faster, market smarter, stay ahead in an ever-changing digital world. So in this industry where, attention is currency and speed is everything, understanding AI is no longer optional. It's a competitive advantage, and that's exactly what we're going to hear, from our speaker today. That will be what he's bringing out to the table. So let's welcome Mr. Michael Turn.
Thank you.
Welcome,
Appreciate it. Thanks for
Michael.
having me. I
Yeah,
love Realty One Group. I'll tell you that. I've done a lot of your guys' events over here in North America, and so it's great to be able to spend some time with you here. Monday morning for you, I believe, but Sunday evening for me here on the west coast of Canada.
Okay.
perfect. Oh, we're really excited to have you here today. And yeah, just some notes for you guys. We're gonna have one talks this November, so that's gonna be our big event. And our next primetime session, we're gonna have Scott Bergman. So that is gonna be on June 1st, and that is about exclusive listings.
Scott, I had a chance to speak with him at an event in Miami last year. Scott is a very, very smart guy. Great guest for you guys to have. Scott's amazing.
Perfect, wonderful. And yeah, I guess we can start the session. I'll hand over the floor to you, Michael.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Well,
Take it away,
welcome
Mike.
everybody. Excited to have you guys part of this session. So I've got 45 minutes with you, and then we're going to do some Q&A, and I really want to dig into the Q&A. I love it so much. So please write down your questions or send them in. June can ask them afterwards, or we'll figure out a way to interact. I'm also going to ask you a couple questions as we go through this. So in the chat, type in your answer. It will really help me get an understanding of where you guys are and to bring as much value as I possibly can. So I want to start off with this, is that this is a huge conversation. This isn't something that we can tackle here in 45 minutes or 2 hours or 4 hours. If I were to spend the next 8 hours with you, I would share something with you that would fundamentally transform the trajectory of your business for the next 5, 10, 15 years. And so that's really, just want to put that in context. I'm going to give you some things that you can put into your business right now. You can take away, but we're going to just scratch the surface. And another thing I want to mention is this idea that I work as an agent in just outside Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And I understand there are a lot of differences between the way that we run our business every single day and the way that you run your business every day. There's obviously cultural changes. The product is different, sort of the infrastructure of how you guys work. And so you might have to translate a couple of the opportunities, and I'm going to try to do my best to do that for you too as well. But everything that I'm sharing with you now, you can put into your business. You might just have to tweak, the concept. And so I just want to make that sort of a little bit of a preface for you there today. So I want to take you back to 1995. I'm in my third year of real estate. I became a realtor, a licensed real estate agent on my 19th birthday. And back in 1995, I'm walking the halls of my office. And for the first time in my very young career, I see something changing that I think can transform my business. And so I want to take you back to 1995, where this was broadcast on national television in the States.
56 past, I wasn't prepared to translate that as I was doing that little tease.
Oh, that's
that little
right.
mark with the A and then the ring around it.
At.
See, that's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Katie said she thought it was about.
Yeah. Oh,
but I'd never heard
Or
it.
around
I'd
or
never heard it
about-
said. I'd always seen
right.
them, but never heard it said. And then it sounded stupid when I said it. Violence at NBC.
Yeah, it
I
would
heard
be
something
around
big
or
fight up
about.
in the lunchroom the other
See,
week.
there it is. Violence at NBC. GE.com. I mean,
Well, Allison should know.
what
do you
is
say to that,
internet
Allison?
anyway?
Internet is that
Massive computer
Right.
network.
the one that's becoming really big now.
What do you mean? That's big. How does one? What do you write to it like mail?
No, a lot of people use it and communicate. I guess they can communicate with NBC writers and producers. Allison, can you explain what internet is?
All right, so that's a really funny clip about just where we were in 1995. So I'm in my office, I'm walking the hallways, I'm interacting with really seasoned, experienced agents, and they were saying things like, I will never participate in the internet. And at the time in 1995, we could, that seemed like a somewhat rational thing to say, but now looking back, we just know how wrong they were. And we, all of us right now, I mean, just think about what's happening right now. I'm in my studio in Langley, BC. You're at your office or wherever you are, and we are having a meeting together and we're helping each other improve our businesses. And so now we just interact with the internet almost by default throughout the day. And the same thing is going to happen with AI, with two really clear differences between the internet and AI. AI is going to have a much bigger impact on our personal and our professional lives than the internet. And for some people, that's really hard to get your head around because the internet has touched everything we do. But this is going to have a bigger impact on our business and our personal lives. And the hardest part is that it's going to happen much, much faster than the internet. And that's really, really one of the big things. I don't know if this next thing is going to translate, but we're about to find out. I'm about to show you something. And if you know what it is, I want you to put a number 1 into the chat box. But I get asked all the time, Michael, just really quickly tell me what AI is. And to me, this is AI. And if you know what this is, please put a number 1 into the chat box. And like I said, I'm not sure if all of my references are going to translate over. Well, Mark knows what it is. All right, we got one person that looks a lot like me. Now, I don't know who Mark is, but I'm assuming he looks a little bit like me because this is the Konami cheat code. And so what this this is a game in the late 80s, a very, very difficult game. I got super, super frustrated playing this game. And in the halls of my school, I heard about a cheat code. Now, back then, you didn't see it on a forum on the internet or like none of that happened. You just heard it in the hallways and you wrote it down and you raced home. And up, down, down, left, right, BA, select if you had a friend, start gave you a cheat code. And that's what AI is when it comes to our business. This is a cheat code. And so it took a game that was very difficult to play, very frustrating. You'd get somewhere where you had never been before, and you would fail, and you would learn from that experience, and you'd try again, and you'd get just a little bit further, and you would fail, and you'd try again, and along comes a cheat code that really takes the stress, the pain, the frustration out of a game. And the same thing is happening right now with AI when it comes to if we apply it properly in our business. This is a cheat code. And if you apply it the right way, your competitors won't be able to compete with you the same way someone running the cheat code in Contra and someone not running it. It's an unfair advantage. And so when we're thinking about building a business of exclusive listings, for example, you're running with a cheat code. And those things now are extremely possible to do because we have access to tools just like this. And so in a nutshell, that's what AI is. There is something called digital divide, right? And it's this concept of, and I think about my amazing father-in-law. I explained to him just recently that the flashlight icon on the front of the phone turned on the flash on the back, and it sort of blew his mind. Now, my father-in-law, I love him. He's a really, really smart man, but he suffered from digital divide. And it's not like he's not smart enough to keep up with technology. It's simply the fact that he put down technology for a short period of time, right? He put it down, he stepped away, he didn't participate actively in it, so that when he picks up technology now, it seems confusing and frustrating and mysterious. And the same thing's happening right now with AI, but at a very fast speed. Right now, the difference between this side and this side isn't much. It's not so hard to jump to the other side. But in 6 months, a year and a half from now, that divide is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's going to become more difficult to jump. And in 2 years from now, that divide will become so big in a short period of time that it will be impossible for some people to make that jump, and they will simply be left behind. And that's something we have to be aware of. We need to be participating in AI really aggressively all the time. All right? So I want to get an idea of where you are in your AI journey. So I just want you to put it into the chat and answer this question. Where are you? What's AI you're using it once or twice a week? Then there's beginners, people who think they're intermediates, and let's take experts off the table. It's just too new and too big. But in the chat, let me know where you guys are in your journey. What's AI, beginner or intermediate? Coming in there. ChatGPT is monitoring Jobin's wife's pregnancy journey, which is great. Just let me know where you guys are, whether you're a What's AI, a beginner, or an intermediate. Intermediate, beginner, awesome. Beginner, thanks, Pam. Beginner, intermediate. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Love it. Thanks, guys. I got the honor of listening to Dr. David Edelman give a talk. He is a professor at MIT. He has advised 3 former US presidents on technology. And the talk that he gave that day, and I got to sit down and spend some time with him, but the talk he gave that day was just simply summed up by this one quote, which was, "I implore you to be impatient." And that's really what I want you to take away from this, is this need to be impatient, right? This digital divide. Quite often we get distracted by shiny objects and we chase new opportunities. But this is one that's not shiny. You must take some of your time every week and learn this technology if you want to have the cheat code, the unfair advantage, or you won't take that opportunity and your competition will. And it's really simply just that simple. And I don't mean to scare you into it, because I think the fact that you're already here on a Monday morning listening to me talk, willing to learn, means that you're not the average broker or agent in your marketplace. And so here's the thing. The question is, why should you care about AI? All right. So study after study has found the impact that AI has on professionals like you and me who use this technology in our business. Studies from Stanford and MIT found that people that use this technology, professionals that use this technology, can reduce time on task by up to 80%, which means what takes you 5 hours to do takes me 1. I also found that the quality of output improved by 40%, which means what took you 5 hours to do took me 1, and my 1 hour is 40% better than your 5, right? And that is simply why you should care about that. Now, because you get that efficiency back, you can claw back a couple hours each day, and what you do with those hours is up to you, whether that's spending more time with family or pursuing a hobby, or investing it back into your business in the things that actually grow your business. There's something called the Pareto principle, and I'm sure you're all familiar with this, but it's the fact that 20% of your activities produce 80% of your results, right? And that is true in almost every industry, and it's certainly true in ours, that 20% of your activities produce 80% of your results. And if you were to ask me sort of what those 20% are that generate the vast majority of my business, it's content care, and community, right? It's those relationships. It's your past clients. It's your standing in your community. It's the connections that you have. It's how you treat your past clients. It's how you treat your sphere of influence. It's how you position yourself as an expert in your marketplace. All those things, AI is not very good at doing. But those are the things we don't want AI to do anyway. But here's the thing. The other 80% of our business still needs to get done, right? All of these things in the background still need to get done, even though they're not producing the 80% return. They still need to get done. And those are the things that AI is really, really good at. Doing those tasks, getting you back 2 hours each day so you can spend more time doing your face-to-face with your clients, doing your lead generation activities, growing your business. And there are kind of 3 levels of AI use, right? And it's sort of counterintuitive. Step 1 is experts. Step 2 is teammates. And step 3 is digital employees. And I kind of see it this way. When we treat AI as an expert, we just show up, ask a question, get an answer, and leave. And the next time we need an expert, we show up, we ask a question, maybe 1 or 2, we get our result, and we leave. And the vast majority of people are using it this way. But the change from going from being an expert to a teammate is a mental shift, right? This is treating AI as a teammate. Going back, building digital employees, building workspaces, sharing knowledge, giving it memory, giving it custom instructions, giving it knowledge and context where you go back every single time and you can build off something or a workflow you've already built. And we're going to show you examples of how you can team up with AI. It's the way we should be doing it. And that's where the vast majority of people are finding their success. But this is simply a mental shift from stage 1 or level 1 to level 2. Level 3 is digital employees. And we can't really get there yet easily because this is a technology or an interaction or a large language model software shift. But this is the idea that these digital employees will act on their own as if they were employees in our business, doing things, answering emails, posting documents, doing some of the busy work in the back end to free up our time so we can do more of this human interaction. But if you really want to start to see success, you have to change your mindset from being and interacting it like an expert and start treating it like a teammate. And I'm sure you guys are familiar with the amazing Brian Buffini, but he loved this mindset shift of treating AI not like a tool, but a teammate, that he made myself and him t-shirts. And he says, like, that's the thing I've got to say all the time, but we need to approach AI like a teammate and not like a tool. All right. And so we built Buffini AI Bootcamp for that reason, is because this is such a big topic, right? It's something we can't learn in an hour. This has to be ongoing. And I'm a practicing agent. I'm out with buyers and sellers every single day. And so I partnered with Brian and the amazing crew down at Buffini and Company, and we've built a training program. We're going to share a little bit more about that for you guys at the end of the webinar. But that is why it has to be a training program, is because it's such a big topic. And I'm sure you guys are familiar, I think so, of Inman News, even if in the Philippines. But last year for their AI awards, I won the award, or we won the award for the best use of AI by an agent or team for the training program I built alongside Brian Buffini and the amazing crew at Buffini and Company. So let's dig into it. This to me is your AI starter kit. If you are saying, what tools should I have in my starter kit to get the most out of AI? This is what I would suggest for you. I would have a paid version of one of the 3 main large language models, which is ChatGPT, Claude, which is from Anthropic, or Google Gemini, right? I'd have a paid account so that I can use it freely and I don't bump up against limits. The next thing I would use, and we're going to show it very, very briefly today, is the free version of Notebook LM. And if you already have a Google account, you have access to it. It's a product by Google, but Notebook LM. And the third tool I would have in my tool belt is the free version of Perplexity. I've already just used it just now while we were on air doing some research about Pam. So when Pam volunteers later on, I've got some information about her. But that would be my AI starter kit, are those three things. So here are the three biggest challenges with AI. And normally I'd be asking you this and looking in your eye face to face to get a reaction from you. But I've spoken to tens of thousands of agents over the last couple of years about AI and real estate. And I know this to be true. These are the three biggest challenges with AI. Number one, agents feel overwhelmed. Right? Everyone's talking about it. It's something new all the time. They're busy with their lives. They know it's important. They're overwhelmed. Number two, agents are fearful. Fearful for the way it's going to impact their business, fearful the way that it might impact their children and their jobs and their careers. Agents feel fearful. And the third thing, the biggest out of the three biggest challenges, is agents just don't know where to start. And what I'm going to try to do here in the next half an hour is address all three of those things by giving you three examples that you could use in your business right now. And we're going to give you the tools to use them, and they're not overwhelming, they're easy to use, and we're going to give you the how-tos when it comes to those three things. So let's start off with elevating your listing presentation. And when we're talking about my listing presentation, we're talking about sitting down and sharing our value to somebody else. And I know that there is a mindset shift for you guys to go and get your exclusive listings, which is really, really important. We operate a little bit different here, but showing your value is a big part of that. And so I'm going to show you just a really simple example of sharing that value. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a teammate to brainstorm with. We're going to brainstorm some great marketing ideas that you can use in any way. We're going to give you the brainstorming assistant, and you can brainstorm anything creative that you want to do in your business. You're going to have that tool. The results are incredible, and it's very, very simple. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to turn around and flip AI on its head. Pam has so graciously volunteered to be our guinea pig here, and we're going to turn and flip AI on its head live in front of all you guys right now. So let's start with elevating your listing presentation, which is one of the cornerstones to my business, is my presentation that I give to potential sellers and to developers. And so let's start here. Let's start in Nano Banana, which is a Google product. You could use other platforms, but Nano Banana is the absolute best at that. You go into Gemini and you'll say, create an image. There's a little banana icon down there. And that's when you know that you're doing a Nano Banana image. So this is something that happens regularly for us in North America because a lot of people have told me that it happens, right? I want to have a really high quality image of the property I'm potentially putting on the market, right? For my listing presentation with the potential sellers. And sometimes I don't have time to go out there and get my photographers to go out and take an image of the property if the presentation's the following day. But I want a show-stopping image of the property. And so sometimes what I do is I go onto Google Street View and I do a screen capture just like this because something is better than nothing. But what happens now if we go just 5 more seconds with a technology that is new to us? Now, we could all say out loud the things that we don't like about this image. The sky is gray, right? The lawn is yellow. It's obviously just at the end of winter, the beginning of the spring, or maybe well into the fall. The lawn looks horrible. We've got the black car on the driveway. There's a lot of little small things we want to change. And I'm not saying using this technology for forward-facing images. That's a decision that you guys and your regulatory bodies out there and your brokers will have to determine for you. This, once again, is for a listing presentation for a potential seller. And so all I have to do is describe what I want changed. Turn this image into a high-end real estate photo. I want it to be blue hour with lights coming from the home, creating a stunning image. Remove the black truck, make it spring, add leaves to the branches behind the home, and improve the lawn so it's less yellow and looks like it's been mowed recently. And all I have to do is take that prompt in Nano Banana, I drag in the image, I click on create image, I send that off, and in about 6 or 7 seconds, I go from a Google Street View image that has a lot of things going against it to an image that I'm super proud to put on my listing brochure or inside my presentation to impress the people that we're presenting it to. And now the key thing about this particular technology is it's not a different house. You can see that the hardware on the garage is the exact same hardware. The number of bricks above the front entrance are exactly the same. We've improved it in a way that adds value to the listing presentation. But this can be used in a bunch of different ways. For example, you're out with buyers and they can't envision, changing out the backyard a little bit or remodeling the kitchen. They just can't envision what that opportunity would be. Take a quick photo and say, hey, turn these cabinets from a dark color to white, or add a window, or put a patio in the backyard, or whatever it might be. Right? To take an image and to be able to consult with a buyer or seller with the actual image so that they can envision the property is a really huge opportunity. And let me tell you one more thing that I've used it for here in the last couple of weeks. And when I show this, it makes people kind of go, but I don't know if it's typical for your scenario. But this is a property. The lady you can see in the back there, her name is Catherine, right? And this is her mom and dad's property. Her dad passed away 3 years ago, and her mom died over the winter. And this is a property that is about 45 minutes away from where she lives. And Catherine is overwhelmed, right? She brought me in to do a walkthrough so that I could show her all the things that she needed to leave furniture-wise and get it ready for staging so we could put it on the market. She asked me to go room by room and write a list of everything that I wanted to be left in that. And then I thought, if I write it and I hand her that list, will she understand what I mean, each piece of furniture? But we're living in a new world. So I used the new technology at my fingertips. This is what I did. I took out my iPad, I put a red line around everything I wanted left in each one of the rooms, and I simply gave this prompt. Using the 2 images of the same room, the one with the original with the clutter and the version where the items are to be kept are outlined in red. Remove everything from the original except the red outline pieces. Keep the architecture, the natural lighting unchanged, then arrange only those remaining items into a clean, balanced layout so the final image looks professionally staged and ready for real estate listing photos. And then I go for an image like this to an image like this. And now, I wouldn't use this image for my marketing, but I gave her 12 images, one from every single room in that home. And I gave them to her and it said, Catherine, this is the furniture I'd like you to leave in each room. And the email back, and I should put it in the presentation, should ask her permission to put in the presentation, the stress that was relieved from her because she knew exactly what I wanted. It was very clear in an image versus in text. And these are the sort of things we can be doing to raise the bar of the way we take care of people. And these are just 2 quick examples how to use Nano Banana. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to give you an amazing tool that you can use in almost every corner of your business, which is a teammate to brainstorm with. So this is an essay. It might not relate as much for you guys, but create an essay on the War of 1812. And if I send that off, I will get an essay about the War of 1812. But this is also a prompt, right? Create an essay on the War of 1812, but make it at a grade 7 level and leave enough errors in it so my teacher won't become suspicious. Make it good enough to make a B+, right? I can send that off. And I too get back an essay, but you can see through a very different lens. Right? This is written by a middle schooler, clear, not too polished, with natural grammar and phrasing mistakes so it feels authentic. This would likely land around a B+ if turned in as is. So both those things are prompts, but one of them had more context or had a persona, right, that it could get the result that we want. And so the issue is never having enough ideas to pick from. That the hard part is not picking the right idea. The hard part is having enough ideas to pick from. And this really smart guy said that one time. there you go. That's my little joke for you guys for the day. I am a dad. I'm allowed to do dad jokes. But this is really, really true. Like, one of the most difficult things in our business isn't like picking a great idea. It's coming up with a great idea to pick from. For example, if I gave you 30 great things you could do today to really elevate the experience of past clients in your sphere of influence. If I give you 30 ideas, you could pick which one was the best for your business. You know your business ins and out. You know how, your culture and the type of clients you work with. But if I said, come up with 30 ideas on how you can improve your relationships with your past clients, that would almost become an impossible task. So let's give you a way of coming up with endless ideas to improve your business. And then you will use your own intuition and knowledge about your business to pick the right ideas that you want to put into action. And we're going to do that with this particular prompt. And now you guys are going to get this in a download, but you can take your screenshot or not. This is the 4th best prompt I've ever written. It's only 4 sentences long, and it's really, really simple. Act as an imaginative brainstorming assistant, unafraid of unconventional ideas. First, generate 5 wildly creative, even impractical ideas for any topic. Nothing is off limits. Then choose the most compelling idea and develop into a refined solution or narrative, adding details to make it viable and actionable. Provide the final output as a clear, original proposal that balances bold innovation with practical steps. The topic or problem is, and you just fill out whatever it is. It can be anything that you want. You can reuse this over and over and over again in your business. And the reason why this produces such great results is because it is a perfect prompt. There are 6 elements to a perfect prompt, 1 through 6. And the importance diminishes as we go down the list. Every time we interact with a large language model right now, we have a task, right? Which is write, brainstorm, create, analyze. That is the task. The next thing is context. Basically, what are you trying to achieve? We have to give some sort of context of what we're trying to do. The next thing is the model. What does good look like, right? What needs to be included? What level does it have to be presented that it is good, right? There's a lot of things we take for granted in our business day to day because of what we do. If we showed a bad evaluation to the public and a good evaluation to the public, it might be hard for them to discern which one was the bad evaluation and what was the good evaluation. But as brokers, you guys know instantly the difference between the two because you know what good looks like. And it's important that we tell ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude what good looks like. The next thing is persona. And I already sort of showed you to it with that example of create an essay for a grade 7 student with just enough errors so my teacher doesn't become suspicious. That's the only thing we changed about that prompt because we changed the person that was writing the prompt, the persona, the role, everything that comes through that lens, and it transforms things dramatically. The next thing is format. What does the output look like? Is it an email? Is it a blueprint? Is it a worksheet? What is the output look like? And the last one is your tone and style. And this is something we teach in the training. We help you build out your voice and we do everything for you so it sounds just like you. But we need to tell it how to speak and how to sound depending on what that particular output is. So in that prompt that I just showed you about the creative brainstorming assistant, these are those items one by one. Task is generate, right? That's what we asked it to generate. The context is we want 5 wildly creative, even impractical ideas for a particular topic. The model is what does good look like? We want it to develop those ideas into a refined solution or narrative, adding details to make it viable and actionable, balancing bold innovation with practical steps. That's what good looks like. What's the persona? Who's the person that's creating this? It is act as an imaginative brainstorming assistant. The format is a clear and original proposal, and the voice doesn't matter because this is for internal use only. So it doesn't have to sound a particular way. And when we put all that together, we end up with this output. And on that, we're going to go live for the first time to my computer. Now, You're going to see here that I am in my client and experience and loyalty department because I treat AI like a teammate. I have departments in my business, and I also have digital employees in charge of each one of my departments. Not a big thing. This prompt is still going to work for you, but I want to let you know that that's the way that we set up our interaction with large language models. We have these departments. But let's come in here, and we're going to put in that prompt that I just shared with you. And we're going to brainstorm pop-by ideas for our past clients, Buffini style pop-by ideas, for an example, right? And it could be anything that you want, but I know that you guys are really big on nurturing your sphere and your past clients. And hopefully that's an example that you guys are familiar with, is this idea of taking care of people in between the homes that they buy and they sell. So this would resonate for you, but you can put anything that you want in the output of this prompt. So in here, I'm going to put in here Buffini style pop buys, and I'm going to send that off. Now, remember what's going to happen, because this is a perfect prompt. This is what it's going to do. And once again, this is happening live, and I want you to see it. I'm not going to change the screen. It's going to come up with 5 ideas. Then it's going to self-reflect on those 5 ideas and pick the best one to put together an action plan. Then on its own, all in this one prompt that's only 4 sentences long, it's going to provide me a plan on that best idea. And I'm assuming it's going to give me what to say, how to present it, maybe a budget on how to do it. All these details, because it is a perfect prompt, and that's why we can do this live. Now, I could run this 5, 6, 7 times and have 30, 40, 50 ideas. But let's just do it once so you guys can see the output. We're going to go through this output all together. So here's the 5 wildly creative ideas. And of course, you could have specified for your particular area. You could say, here's the marketplace in the Philippines that I work at, and I want it to be for this festival. But this was just general pop-by ideas. First one is the pay it forward pop-by. Instead of dropping off 1 small gift, you drop off 2. One is for your client. The second one is for them to give to a neighbor or a friend or a teacher or a coworker or someone who could use a little bit of a lift. The magic is that the client becomes part of the generosity. You're not asking for a referral directly. You're creating a natural moment where your name, care, and relationship-based approach gets introduced to someone new. That on its own is a brilliant idea and worth you guys coming to the webinar. That was the first one, and it's already a home run. I'm guessing that's the one that gets picked. All right. The second one is a client loyalty punch card, a pop-by designed for families with kids under the age of 13. Every time you visit the parents with a pop-by, the kids bring out their own realtor visit card. You stamp or punch it, and after 5 visits, they earn a small reward, like a stuffy or movie tickets or ice cream card or a toy or a family experience. What this does is it builds excitement before you arrive, creates anticipation in the home, and deepens the emotional connection with the kids and strengthens the relationships, equity with the parents. Another brilliant idea. And so let's not get into all this, the kindness, neighborhood kindness relay, a mini emergency happiness kit, a front porch time capsule. And then it's going to give the concept. It chose the pay it for concept. I love the idea. And you can see that it goes through every little detail: campaign name, the tagline, the package, spring. Here's your idea if it was spring. Here's your idea if it was summer. Here's your idea if it was fall, winter. Why it works, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. I mean, it is a perfect output every single time because it was a perfect prompt. They're still going with great ideas, branding tie-ins, referral relationship impact, 30-day execution plan. I mean, it is incredible what can be done from a perfect prompt. And once again, you've already clawed back 2 hours of your day because this would take you hours and hours to do. And you could run this once every week and get new ideas for a particular product. It's an absolute magic prompt because it is so well written. And that's certainly what we teach you guys to do. But I want to make sure you guys have that prompt for you. So if you go, sorry guys, If you go to buffini.com/oneprimetime, that prompt is there for you. Download it, put anything in the equals bar that you want. It could be an Instagram campaign. It could be a community showcase. It doesn't have to be a Popeye. Equals whatever you want, right? And it can create some really magical things. So now let's go and flip AI on its head. There are 3 different ways you can use AI, right? You can use all of its knowledge, right? Which is what we just did. We just said, here's the prompt, you come up with it. The other thing you can do is you can isolate some knowledge inside a box, right? You can say for Notebook LM, here are all the documents from a certain building, and I want you to analyze these documents, or I want you to go only to this website and do some research. We're isolating its knowledge. And the last thing, and the most powerful thing to do, is to turn it around and make sure you're the expert. And there's so much value in this. This is the #1 way I use AI every single day. And it's absolutely magical. And we're going to do a live demo with you guys all right now. And the best way I know how to do it is by using ChatGPT's advanced voice mode. And when you go to ChatGPT on your mobile device, as you're about to see on your desktop, it's not the microphone icon, it's the waveform icon next to it. You go ahead and click on that. So I'm going to show you how this works. And then we're going to bring in Pam. So Pam heads up there for you. Here we go. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to do that. All right. So I'm going to come into ChatGPT. I'm going to turn on my advanced voice mode. Hey, Chat, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Michael. Sounds like you've got a lot going on today. How's everything on your end?
I'm doing great. I'm actually doing a webinar right now for Realty One Group in the Philippines, and I'm out here in the studio, and they're joining me by Zoom. So, do you want to say hi to everybody?
Well, hello to everyone joining from the Philippines. I hope you're all having a fantastic session. Michael's got you in good hands. Let's make this webinar a great one.
Thank you, Chat. I'll be right with you. Okay, so that's how I interact a lot. I could be stuck in traffic. I can just say, hey, Chat, let's talk about a certain topic. But we're going to do something really exciting right now. We're going to bring in Pam. So, Pam, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do, and I'm going to set it up for you guys, and we're going to go from there. So I'm just going to open up. You're going to be able to talk to Chat directly. Hey, Chat. I am on a call. Imagine us just sitting together. I'm sitting with Pam Mongubat. That's probably pronouncing it wrong. Mongubat, and she's with Realty One Group Upgrade in the Philippines, and she works the Metro Manila area as far as that's her work area. And what I want you to do is I want you to ask Pam 7 to 10 questions about what's happening in the real estate market in Manila, Philippines right now as of early May 2026. And what I want you to do is I want you to listen to every single one of Pam's answers about what's happening in the marketplace. And I want you to use those answers to dig a little bit deeper into what is happening in the marketplace. And then the last question I want you to ask Pam is there anything else you would like to add in case there's something that Pam would like to add? There was a question that you didn't get a chance to ask. Now, I want you to start off maybe with the first question is just how does she run her business in the Philippines, who she's particularly working with, because there's a lot of brokers that are doing new construction sales. There's people that are doing luxury. There's some people that are doing resale. So I want this to be within her expertise. And I just want you to go question by question and ask Pam each question and then listen to her answers.
Got it. Pam, it's great to have you. Let's start with a focus. What's your primary area of expertise in the Metro Manila market? Are you mainly working with resale homes, new developments, luxury, or a particular niche?
Okay, Chat and Michael, I'm focusing on Metro Manila, particularly Makati, Bonifacio Global City, and Ortigas area. I handle both pre-selling and secondary, but now I'm focusing on pre-selling luxury developments. in BGC and Makati.
Thanks for clarifying, Pam. So now in early May 2026, how would you describe the current demand for these luxury developments in BGC and Makati? Are buyers still eager, or is there any shift in interest levels or buyer hesitation right now?
Clearly, the market has been affected because of of course, the oil crisis and the increase of prices for a lot of goods and services. So some buyers are holding off any purchases because they want to ensure they are getting the good deal since it's a buyer's market. To take advantage also of the flexible payment terms that developers are currently offering. So yeah.
Got it. So with developers offering flexible terms and buyers weighing their options, are you seeing any noticeable trends in pricing, like price adjustments, discounts, or stabilizing in any particular area over the past few months?
Yes, the developers are actually giving generous discounts right now.
That makes sense in a market with cautious buyers. Now, considering interest rates, have there been any recent shifts in mortgage rates in the Philippines that are influencing buyer behavior, either positively or negatively this quarter?
This quarter, not yet. They're not yet increasing, but I'm not sure if it's going to increase for the next quarter.
Understood. So as of now, rates are stable, but we've got uncertainty ahead. Are you noticing any particular types of buyers dominating right now, like investors, first-time buyers, or perhaps overseas Filipinos, given that it's a buyer's market?
With the luxury market, I always feel like they are the ones who can hold or stay. They have the staying power because of their capacity, financial capacity. They're used to the cycle of like what happened back in 2000 during the financial crisis and then COVID. So I'm not sure what the other segment, but for the luxury, they are willing to wait on it.
That's really interesting, especially in the high-end segment. Now, among the luxury developments you're seeing, are there specific features or amenities that buyers seem to be prioritizing or asking for right now?
They would always want something that will give them a recurring income, more on that aspect for my clients. And also, they want to take advantage of the discount that the developers are giving because it's as if they were able to purchase it 2 years or 3 years ago because of the 20% savings for some who are also willing to pay in cash. So there.
So income potential and strong discounts are top of mind. Given that, are you seeing developers adapting their project timelines, perhaps offering faster turnovers or ready for occupancy units to appeal to these buyers?
Go ahead, Pam.
Yes. So there are a lot of ready for occupancy unit, but of course there's a hesitation because the rentability of those properties will also be a question to the buyers who will be buying the ready for occupancy.
That's a good point. Rentability is key. Now, looking ahead, are there any upcoming infrastructure projects or policy changes in Metro Manila that you think will significantly affect the market trajectory in the next 6 to 12 months?
Yes, of course. There are a lot of government infrastructure happening, like in Bonifacio Global City, the Metro subway stations. Those are one of the important infrastructures that we always market to our clients, especially those buying in the main central business district, the access to the trains and the highways. Yeah.
That infrastructure definitely sounds like a future selling point. Lastly, Pam, is there anything else you feel is important to add? Maybe something we didn't cover that you think would help us fully understand the market right now?
Okay, maybe if you can give me maybe a forecast, or maybe based on the historical performance of real estate luxury condominiums, if you can point out the appreciation value and the return versus other investments like bonds or stocks, so that we can give an insightful data to our investors, given the uncertainty of the market now.
Pam, that's a great request, and it shows how proactive you are. Michael and I can absolutely follow up with some comparative insight on historical returns, so you can offer that context to your clients. For now, thank you so much for all your insights. You've painted a really clear picture.
Awesome, Pam. Thank you so much. I hope people are, well, we're about to show you how amazing that was. Pam, thank you for being a great volunteer. And now we can get back to it. Thanks, Pam. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. So now what we're going to do, and that's how easy this is, right? Like, you are the expert. And what could have happened is Pam could have been answering everything you need to know about, getting financing in this scenario, or talking about the features of a new development. It could be whatever, right? The idea was that Pam didn't have to think about the questions. She just had to use her expertise. And now that we've captured that expertise, we can do something special, right? Now, we might have to manipulate this prompt slightly, and we might do it live so that we can evaluate the difference. But in my market, there are buyers and there are sellers, and we work with both all the time. And that's a little bit different from where you guys are working, or where Pam's working. But here is the prompt, and you guys can take this. It's not in your downloadable, so do a screen capture, watch this in replay. But here is the prompt. Act like a real estate marketing copywriter who specializes in turning realtor interviews into compelling trust-building market updates. Using the interview responses, create a detailed market update that positions Pam as the go-to local expert. Begin with a compelling introduction that sets the stage for the current real estate landscape, then break the context into 3 clear sections. Section number 1 is insight for buyers. Section number 2 is insight for sellers. Section number 3 is a market outlook. And then we want to write in a professional yet approachable voice, authoritative like a market advisor, but warm and reassuring like a trusted neighbor. Weave in impactful quotes and authentic insights that educate, inspire confidence, and drive readers to connect for personalized guidance. Conclude with a strong summary and a persuasive call to action that invites the reader to connect with Pam for a more personalized guidance to explore local real estate opportunities further. So that is the prompt, but the context we already have. And now, once again, we're going to go back to breaking down each one of those things. So the task is create. The context is using the interview responses to position the realtor as the local go-to expert. That's what we're trying to achieve. What does good look like? Begin with a compelling introduction that breaks the context into 3 clear sections. Weave in impactful quotes, authentic insights, and conclude with a strong summary and persuasive call to action. Persona, who is doing this? Who is it writing? What is that lens? A real estate marketing copywriter who specializes turning realtor interviews into compelling, trust-building market updates. Format is a detailed market update. And the voice is a professional yet approachable voice. Authoritative like a market advisor, but warm and reassuring like a trusted neighbor. And that's what we've got there. So now let's go back to my computer here. And I'm going to press refresh. And if I come down to the chats, we are going to find my most recent conversation was called Casual Conversation, and this is my conversation with Pam. You can see all the back and forth is just here in context, right? And so now I can come down to the bottom of this interview, And this could be on any topic. You could be talking about anything. All you have to do is just talk to your phone, and we're going to put down enter. And that is going to be our prompt that we just went through. And I am going to just add a little bit more detail in here. And I'm just going to use my voice. Please feel free to adapt this prompt for the real estate industry in Metro Manila, Philippines, to adjust for the difference in the way that a realtor would represent buyers and sellers equally and as often in a North America scenario. Tailor it to Pam, Realty One Group upgrade, and how she takes care of her clients in Metro Manila. Now, I normally wouldn't do that, but I just want to give as much context to get the result as strong as we possibly can. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to turn on the thinking mode, and we are going to send this off. And what's going to happen now is it's going to turn that interview with Pam's expertise, Pam's insight. She knows exactly what's happening here. Right here, I'm going to turn Pam's answers into a polished market update. Right, I'm going to be grounded in the broader market references, a few current sources, pieces that doesn't rely on anecdotal insight, and it's doing a little bit of research because Pam asked for current market stats. Normally that wouldn't happen; it wouldn't go on the internet. And now what we have to do is when this comes out, if it's not right, Pam has to verify it and make sure it's accurate, whatever it is. But here we have a market update that Pam could put out on Instagram or share with people or past clients. And we're going to go through this sort of line by line here as we go. Metro Manila luxury real estate update. Why today's buyer's market may be creating tomorrow's opportunity. Metro Milan's luxury condominium market is not frozen, it's recalibrating. For buyers and investors looking for, and I won't even predict these areas, but that's what she said. I don't want to pronounce them wrong. The conversation has shifted. It's no longer about just location prestige and future appreciation. Today's clients are asking sharper questions. Is this a good deal? Will it rent well? Are the payment terms strong enough? Is the better use of capital than other investments right now? According to Pam Mongubat of Realty One Group Upgrade, the shift is already being felt on the ground. Some buyers are holding off because they want to make sure they're getting a good deal. An exact quote from you right there. And here it goes down. Here's some insights. It pulled from Collier's. And once again, I'll let you know where it pulled from so you can verify the terms. That's something that normally doesn't happen. It's because Pam answered that last question about putting in current things. Here's insight for buyers. Here's 2 paragraphs. It's actually got a bunch here. There it is. There's some insights for buyers. Insights for sellers and developers. For sellers and developers, the message is clear. Buyers are still there, but they're asking harder questions. And then talked about the financial disruption to COVID. Pricing has to be defensible. All this information here. Market outlook over the next 6 to 12 months. I'm sure this is going to pull in some examples. There's Bureau of Treasury that it pulled up. Reuters, it pulled up some information there's too as well. So we want to verify those particular facts before you publish this out. Still, Pam's advice points to balanced view. Luxury real estate should not be sold on appreciation alone. Investors are comparing properties against other use of capital, including bonds, stocks, and business opportunities. Final takeaway, Metro Milan's luxury condominium market is giving serious buyers something they have not always had: leverage. Great point. This is where Pam brings value. Once again, we wanted a call to action for buyers, investors, and property owners trying to understand what today's Metro Manila market means for their next move. Contact Pam at Realty One Group Upgrade for personalized guidance rooted in local expertise, current market conditions, and long-term investment perspective. And so here we have a market update from a 7-minute conversation that I sprung on Pam just before we got on air. She wasn't ready for that. And it turned it into something that most realtors and agents and brokers would never have done. And I say all the time, how long would this take you? And a lot of people would say, it'll take me a couple days. And then I ask them, can I ask you something real frank? Would you have ever done it And the answer usually is no, I would never have done it. And that's the thing here too as well, guys, for you guys to understand that this could have been a conversation about new infrastructure, a new business opportunity, the university. It could be a conversation on anything you want, right? And all you have to do is provide your insight. You could talk about this new condominium building that's coming and just say, hey, chat, I'm in this new building. It's 30 stories high. It offers this. Ask me everything about it. And you just answer the questions from the sheet and from what you saw there, from the views, from the interaction of the sales staff, and say, great, now turn that into a press release that I can put out there about this opportunity. Like it's so easy to do now. The opportunities are endless, and it's the people that use this as a teammate. As you see, Pam teamed up with Chat to produce this output. It's just incredible what can be done. Now let's take this just maybe slightly one step further, real quickly, and I hopefully get a chance to share this before it's done. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop on. June, do we have an absolute hard out? I know we're at the 1 hour mark already.
Oh,
June,
it's all right. You can continue.
Okay, I'm good. Okay, awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yes.
I appreciate that. Okay, so I've just copied this market update. I'm coming over to Notebook LM. Don't have time to get into all of it, but I'm going to come down to Notebook LM and I'm going to open up this and I'm just going to copy and paste the text of Pam's market update in here, right? So I am just going to take it in here. I'm just going to get rid of this little things about where the information came from, and I'm going to press insert. Now, Pam's market update is now in inside Notebook LM. I'm going to come over to infographics and I am going to come down here and I'm going to put in Realty One's brand guidelines and I'm going to show you how I got that. So all I did was went to ChatGPT and I said, how would you describe Realty One Group's branding? And I just sent that off and it just gave me, here's what it looks like, here's how it's positioned, here's what the images look like. And I just grabbed this core information and I just copied and pasted it, and I'm over here inside Notebook LM now, right? And so normally I would say what I want the infographic to look like. I would say on the left-hand side, I want for sellers. On the right-hand side, I want for buyers. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to see what we get. I'm going to click generate. Right? So it's got the market update, everything Pam shared, and it's going to create an infographic over here that we could add to the market update. All right. And so that's going to work in the background here a little bit inside Notebook LM. So as that's clicking away, I do want to quickly share with you Buffini AI Bootcamp. And the partnership that I have, our Buffini and Company and myself have with all of you at Realty One Group. So here's why we developed it, is because it's such a big conversation. I was at an event speaking in Las Vegas 2 years ago, and I love answering questions, and I hope that there's an opportunity, if I haven't gone too long, to answer all your questions here today. But after this event, I had about 200 realtors come up to me afterwards and wanted to have conversations. And the people at Buffini and Company saw me answering all of these questions, knew that I wanted to use the technology to be more human and not less human, right? I want us to use this technology, once I said, doing all the things in the background so we can spend more time with our clients. And they asked me, what questions are you being asked? And I said, really, I'm being asked one question and one question only, which is, now what? And maybe you're asking your question that question to yourself now. Now that Michael's shown me all these opportunities, now what do I do? And at the time, I didn't really have a good answer. But Buffini and Company are world class, the best in the world at creating training programs in the real estate industry. And Brian and I sat down and he's like, let's build something incredible. We are the best in the world at training realtors. You are the best at helping people understand AI is to make us more human, to be more that Buffini mindset, to take care of people and not to become less human. And that's why we built it. So how can it help? We already talked about this. You're talking about getting time back. So 80% reduction time on task. You just saw it with Pam. You just saw Pam do something in 8 minutes that would have taken her for sure hours to do, if not do it at all. right? Improve quality of output. We already talked about this, coming up with great pop-by ideas, right? As many as we wanted to, right? Those are ideas I would never have thought of, and they're brilliant. Getting 2 hours back every day so you can do the more of the things that actually grow your business. Anytime you can do more of the things that actually matter, then your business grows, right? And so what's included? Here's what happens. You guys get the 4 foundational sessions, which we are re-recording here in a couple weeks, and we continue to re-record them. We call them Buffini AI Foundations. They're the first 4 modules. They're core to get you started, understanding your voice, getting your ChatGPT set up, all that. Then you get access to all of our past trainings. Anything we've already released, you get access to. All the prompts, all the templates, all those things you get access to. Plus, you get the next year's worth of live sessions still to come. So you get the AI Foundations, you get all of our past trainings, and then you get access to the next 12 live sessions. You can watch them on demand. Everything we show is real estate specific. Obviously, you're going to have to translate it into the way you guys do your business a little bit, but they're all based in real world applications. Since I'm an agent, I'm working with buyers and sellers every single day. You also get access to our private Facebook group. And every month I come out to the studio just like this. I turn on my camera, and for 2 hours, I just answer your questions, right? And to make sure that you guys are able to connect those things back and forth, and you guys can take advantage of it. So that's what we built. So let's go back to Notebook LM. Last thing I'm going to show you, and then we'll get into the end of it. And I don't know what's going to happen. I've never seen this before, obviously, but let's see what we got for the infographic for Pam's market update. Look at that. I mean, it is brand on Realty One Group branding. It is incredible. The strategic pivot, Metro Manila, luxury real estate opportunities, the market shift. I don't know where it got those information from, but you'd have to check that. You could change that easily. The strategic lens, the path to value, prioritize rentability, infrastructure catalyst, the triple check strategy. I mean, that is a graphic you could put in your marketing right now. You could never have done that before. It's completely on brand in a tool like Notebook LM. And these are the things, guys, we show you guys and teach you to do every single day. So here's what happened over the last 45 minutes. All right. We showed you how to elevate your listing presentation by using a Nano Banana. We gave you a brainstorming teammate that you could brainstorm all the ideas you'd ever want. And then we showed you how to flip AI on its head by making you the expert. And it could be on any topic you want, advanced voice mode. Just say, here's what we want to talk about today. I want you to ask me these amount of questions, and then just give it a simple prompt and turn that into something else. You are the expert. So you have knowledge that other people don't have. And that's what you want to showcase. So we started with the 3 biggest challenges. Agents are feeling overwhelmed, they're feeling fearful, and they're feeling like they don't know where to start. And I wish I could look you guys all in the eye and see if we've addressed those even a little bit. But I hope you guys feel a little less overwhelmed. I hope you feel a little less fearful, and I hope you've got 3 ways that you could start using AI right now as a cheat code in your business to start doing things that you would never have the opportunity to do before, to make it a little bit easy, to make yourself more human so we can spend more time with people face to face. And Buffini AI Bootcamp, and I say this all the time, and I know I don't know who negotiated this deal with me, Kathy Baker, I'm assuming, but we have never given a 15% discount to anybody, but Realty One Group is amazing. So if you want to come on this journey with us, you can use the promo code 1AI and go to buffini.com/1primetime. I hope I was able to bring some value for you guys, and I would love to dig into questions as long enough until June says that we have to go and kicks us off the air. So there you go. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Michael, for the very wonderful session. So for everyone that if you guys have any questions, feel free to type it on the chat while we still have Michael here with us.
And listen, it is 8:08 in the evening. I've got nowhere to go. So I'm sure you guys got business to get to. Absolutely, Pam. I will send you the output. I get asked that all the time. Can you send me the market update? Yeah, absolutely. I'll dig up your email, Pam, and I'll get it out to you. Thanks, Irene. I appreciate that.
Okay, I think they don't have any questions.
Yeah.
So, but the prompts that Michael shared, that is really helpful. You guys can have a copy of that later on. And yeah, thank you so much, Michael, for today's
Thank
session.
you so
Good,
much.
Michael. That
Yeah,
was
I'm
another
really.
amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you guys are going to have a great event out in November with Realty One Talks. CJ's coming out and a few other people, but thank you so much for having me. An absolute perfect group. So if there's anything I can do to support you guys, get in touch and we can go from there. But I appreciate your time very, very much.
Thank
Yes.
you. So
Thank
we're
you.
gonna
Thank
end
you,
the
everyone.
session here.